All right, gents, we've been told that we should not feel our emotions. We should not express our emotions. Emotions are bad. Emotions are not useful. Emotions just get in the way. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about why your emotions are actually your superpower. Especially in a world where all men, like yourself and myself, have been told and have been trained to not acknowledge our emotions. So, emotions, why are they your superpower? Well, the simplest way put, and the best analogy that I've come up with, is emotions are like a compass. They are your internal guidance system. There's a great book called Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. It's all about law of attraction manifestation. Now, this video isn't about that, although this concept of the internal guidance system comes from that book, and there's this really great chart that allows you to understand the positive emotions, the highest vibration emotions, and the lowest vibration emotions. Now, we don't need to get into vibrations and this and that, but when I talk about emotions are like a like a compass, let's unpack that. If I'm holding a compass in my hand, what am I doing? And I'm turning around, I see north here, south behind me, west, east, and as I turn, I'm still staying oriented. And so you are, if you haven't figured this one out yet, a goal-seeking machine. Specifically if you're a high performer, but just humans in general are goal-seeking machines. We always have some sort of goal in mind, and if we don't have a goal, we have someone else's goal in mind in which we go after it. Now, how do we know if we're moving towards that goal? Well, sometimes it's very easy, hence why the thing SMART goals comes up, because you can make a goal specific, measurable, and timely, meaning there's some way to track your progress. Now, that isn't always the case, unfortunately, and you shouldn't always use some quantifiable way to track your progress towards your best life. Because your best life isn't a certain amount of weight off your body, or your best life isn't a certain amount of money in your bank account. Truthfully, your best life is inside, and there is a scoring system inside that you get to use if you tap into it. It's called your emotions. And so to live your best life, to close the gap between who you're capable of being versus who you're actually being, because if you haven't figured it out already, gents, that's the whole game I'm playing, and that's the game that I'm trying to sell you on, is self-actualization. Okay? So, with the idea of self-actualization, you need to understand, am I moving in the right direction towards my best self? And again, you can use these quantifiable goals, like how much weight you lost and how much money I'm earning, but it goes far beyond that. And the only way, I just realized my mic was off, hold on. The only way to actually know if you're closing the gap is your emotions. How do I feel? How do I feel right now about this thing? How do I feel about myself right now? When I hit the pillow and go to bed, how do I feel about myself today? That is your compass. And if you cannot acknowledge how you feel, positive, negative, or neutral, you will never be able to move towards your best life. Because you will not have a guidance system that can move you in the direction of your best life. And what will happen instead is you will continue to do things you do not like to do. You will continue to surround yourself with people that are unproductive for you, that drag you down. You will continue to consume information that is pulling you away and distracting you from your best self. And you will continue to make decisions that go against your best self. Okay? So, instead, you need to tune in, okay? Tune in to your emotions. You need to let them back into your awareness, into your consciousness, because you've likely pushed them aside for so long. You've likely neglected them. You've likely stuffed them in a corner. You've likely removed any weight that they hold over you, which is impressive, I can't lie. Yet your emotions are the very thing that will give you the answers to a truly meaningful life. And again, all ranges. Positive, neutral, negative. So let's talk about the negatives. Why would it be a good thing to understand why would it be a good thing to feel the negative emotions of our body? If something happens in our world, we feel angry, we feel shame or guilt, we feel anxious. Why is that a good thing to feel that? It's good because you get to acknowledge, you get to understand that the thing you're doing isn't the right thing. The thing you're doing wasn't the best thing. The people you were hanging around with weren't the right people. The situation you put yourself in wasn't the right situation. And there's something that needs to be acted on in order for you to remove that emotion. Okay? That could be a conversation with your girlfriend. That could be a conversation you had with your partner. That could be just you meet someone and you hang out with them, and after you're like, something feels off. Acknowledge that. Don't just put it aside. Well, why? Why are you feeling off with this person? What's there? Use it as a compass, as a leading indicator to understand how to make decisions better around your life and what direction you need to take, what decisions you need to make. Because I'm telling you, when you tune into these, the answer is already there. It's already on the wall. It's just, are you going to tune in to the emotion that is present? I was actually just having this conversation about one of the best litmus tests of hanging out with someone is after you leave, whether you're, say you go and hang out with them wherever, you hop in your car, you start driving away, or you start walking away. How do you feel the following hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? Again, feeling. How do you feel? Acknowledging that. This is no different than business. This is no different with yourself. If you go the whole day working, how did you feel about your performance today? Oh, you didn't feel great. Okay, why? You didn't feel great. Okay, that's an indicator that something might be off. Now there's nuances to this where you might just be low energy, and so your state is down, and as a result, because your state is down, you don't have great energy, in which your emotions are typically going to be more skewed to the bias, or biased towards negativity. But overall, if you continue to finish the day, and you're like, I don't feel right, I don't feel that, like what's going on there? Feeling into that. So, using your emotions as an indicator in any way, shape, or form. And it's tough, really, to go any deeper than what I'm describing right now, just as the analogy. Because you just need to go and experience it now. You need to let the emotions in. One of the practices that I recommend you do is you journal on a regular basis about how you're feeling about the day, about yourself, about how when you hang out with someone, how do you feel? And then trying to pinpoint what about the situation was making you feel that way. I call this anchoring. typically that emotion can link back all the way to the exact situation, event, experience that caused you to feel that emotion. But only if you develop the muscle for it, right? And so asking yourself on a regular basis, using journaling, how do I feel? What made me feel this way? Documenting it. And it's just building the habit. It's just building the memory, not the memory, the skill, the muscle of doing so. That's in large part what I've done. Some of the other things that I do on a regular basis, I check in with myself. I just ask myself, how am I feeling? How am I feeling today? How am I feeling right now? And now, like, again, it's become so automatic that as soon as I feel any kind of emotion away from just feeling good, I'm questioning, well, what's going on that's not making me feel good? You know? Yesterday, I was, it's like Thanksgiving weekend here right now. I went to my family's place and I went and hung out with one of my, on my mom's side, I went and hung out with them. And, you know, my aunt and uncle aren't people that I choose to model my life off of, or I would hang out with them and converse with them on a regular basis. And in the moment, I was observing myself feeling bad as I was conversing with them. I'm like, well, why am I getting frustrated? Why am I feeling like less than I am? And I'm watching them, listening how they're talking and how, like, you know, it's closed and shallow they're speaking. And I was just like, oh, this is a great reminder, because I feel this way, and I know I'm only going to see them, you know, once or twice a year. But I know I don't want to feel this way. And I know this type of person makes me feel this way. So guess what? I'm going to continue to remind myself and continue to build a life with people not like this in my life. But it was as a result of feeling this way and acting on that, because the feeling is the most important part. It's not if you're good at something, okay? It's not if someone needs it. It's not if you can get paid for it. It's how do you feel about it. Now, again, how do you develop it? You start journaling, you start doing other things, et cetera, et cetera. But that's it. So a little short one today. Trying to get better at keeping these tighter. And I'm just in between a call, waking up, but I'm committed to getting this content out, talking about more and more stuff. So I will see you, morning. I will see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you guys listening.